Okay, I'm going to talk about tomato plants today. I'm going to talk about stringing them up because that's what we need to do at this stage. But I'm also going to tell you how they got to that point. Sorry about the rain. It's raining outside and it's quite noisy in the polytunnel. Right, getting back to tomato plants. We usually start our tomato plants in these. They're root trainers and they have little space at the bottom, so when the roots get there they turn and go back up these little grooves, which means they develop a really good root ball, and then you can open them up and take the plant out to plant them out. There are quite a few different plants we start like that, and tomatoes are one of them. These tomatoes, the seeds were sown on the 30th of March, and we put soil in the root trainers. It's actually seed compost, and we buy it from an organic compost producer. And then we put it in there, we bump them down so they're a little bit level but not squash tight, and we put a seed in each one, and then we put this in the propagator, and we try to keep it between around, well, I suppose hovering around 30 degrees in the propagator. So in March that means they need heat to be kept at that temperature. And then when they're looking lush and big, and I don't know, maybe about so big, we take them out and we leave them in the seedling tunnel just to get, while they're still in these, to get them used to the temperature of a polytunnel rather than being in the propagator. And then we can plant them out in here. Now these ones are looking really crap because we didn't plant them out. We always sow more than enough in case some of them don't work, and then we always keep them around for a while in case something goes wrong with the ones we want to replace, one or two, but they seem to be doing absolutely fine. We don't need these, so they are going to wind up on the compost heap. Right, so I'm going to use binder twine to string the tomatoes up. It's a really useful thing because it tends to be free. It comes around straw and hay bales, and we actually asked our local hay and straw bale supplier for a bundle of it, and he gave us loads, and it's a really good length for stringing tomatoes up as well. It's very strong, usually lasts a few years, but then it does start to degrade, I think, in the light. Right, stringing the tomatoes up. I'm going to tie a loose knot round the base of the tomato, and that's because the stalk is going to grow, so the stalk will get thicker, so I want a little bit of space for it to grow up. And right, that'll do. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to tie it to the wire that we have strung along here. We've actually got hooks that we hang the wire on, and then we leave the wire up and we can tie the string on it. So I want a slip knot, and first I'm going to tie it quite loosely, so it's very simple, like half tying your shoelaces, and that means anytime I want to I can tighten it to the right tautness. And that's important because, actually I'll tighten it a little bit now, because we're going to remove some of the leaves on the tomato plant as the season goes on. Once I've got the string on, I just gently wind the tomato plant around, and one thing you'll notice, we choose to have one stalk for our tomato plants because if you have lots of stalks growing out like this, each one of these will turn into another big thick stalk, and the plant will spend all its time making leaves, and it won't worry too much about tomatoes. You won't get very many ripe tomatoes. So we take these off, and that's a regular job through the summer, snapping those out. Basically you have the one stalk and they always grow a new shoot where the leaf meets the stem. And as the season goes on, pretty soon actually, we're going to be taking some of the bottom leaves off, a few more of the bottom leaves, and that means that's going to move up, and that's when we'll want to be able to tighten it. And
can I see that knot again? Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
sure.
Let's have a quick look at that knot.
Right.
It's
Okay.
through the middle, through the hole, and that's it. One pull. Okay.
That's about it. I'm going to take these with me because it's generally not a good idea to leave tomato leaves rotting on the ground in case they introduce diseases. And I think that's about all there is to it.
Okay.